should be, yeah. Let's see, Twitch. Am I here? Yeah. Yep. Okay. I look marvelous. Simply marvelous. Yep. Okay. I look marvelous. Simply marvelous. Yep. Okay. I look marvelous. Simply marvelous. Monthly live chat started. You tagged the live chat. Okay. Then we should be good. Close, 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 close. Okay. Yay! There's the Sammy in the background. Woo! Oh, she stole the fan. No, but you could just turn it off. You didn't have to. Ah. Now we just have to wait for people to show up. Yeah? Yeah. Again. Glad you could make it. There we go. Ooh, first time viewer. Welcome in, Moon. We're gonna just give people a couple of minutes to trickle in before we, get get really rolling with things. I have a killed Discord on my computer. My phone on to Put my phone on to do not disturb or focus, as Apple calls it now, and just give a few minutes for everyone to slowly show up. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started. We've allowed a couple of minutes for people to slowly trickle in. So just go ahead and get started with the good old live chat. Let's see. Been over a year since you've been able to make one. Wow. Well, you're here, so congratulations. Remember to check at this point. It's messages here on Twitch for see if you're a winner later. It's that little chat bubble in the upper right hand corner next to the Get Bits stuff. I message people through Twitch for being a winner now because, it's where we hold things. So it's easier for me to find and adjust people from here. So, I don't know. Hang on one second while we have a question from things. Log in. And oh, hang on, I'll tell you in a second. Oop. No, you posted it 3 minutes ago. Shows on mine. So it is showing that you posted to Facebook for me. Thank you. Boop, boop. Okay. No, bits. It says get bits. BITS. Not bitch. Don't get bitch. Unless, you want to. Then that's fine. Okay. Let's see what is going on. For those people who are on Patreon, you would have seen the cover art for Lux Voice 5, Lux Holdings, today. That went out as a post today. Also with the note that the book will be published this coming Wednesday, the 17th. What time this Wednesday? I do not know. More than likely late morning, mid afternoon. Um, which is going to be like late evening or early morning Thursday for people depending on time zones. So it will be going out though this week. We have confirmation. I'll have the book back. I'll have it up to uh, Amazon, and then it'll be all up to them. The only problem is I have to be able to pull down the chapters from Patreon on Tuesday. So if you are on Patreon, Monday when you get the next preview chapter, you might want to read it quickly because on Tuesday I got to pull all that down so I can publish the book on Wednesday. This way I'm in accordance with their guidelines and I don't get bitch slapped by Amazon and we don't have to go through that. So that is like the big news going on. Let's see, what else can we talk about? I'm currently writing Binding Words 9. That's in progress. Um, that will, of course, will be the next preview. It'll be starting up on Thursday on Patreon. So for those people who really want an extra quick look at what's going on with Sean and family, that'll be starting on Thursday. Um, Audio wise, I believe not positive. I believe Stephanie Savannah was getting to Dungeon Walkers 3 this month. Um, not not positive. I don't know. That all goes through Mountaindale Press. But I think she was. If we get really lucky, maybe we'll get the book out in September, the audiobook. Otherwise, I would say it would be October. Um, the other news along the lines of audio is Andy has, I think she's on the Wandering in, I don't know, 7 currently that she's recording. Um, and then she's got like vacation time she's going to do with her family. And then like from like October on through the end of the year, she's got, I think, like maybe one other book besides mine. So if things go well for Andy, she might get completely caught up with everything I publish by the end of the year. I mean, that would be pretty amazing. That's what we're hoping for. That's what I know what she's hoping for. But of course, she is going to be visiting people, so there's a chance she might come down with, a cold or something, which of course, when you're a narrator, matters a lot. At any time she is sick, it's going to negatively impact how she records. So, if things go well, we might get completely caught up on audiobooks by the end of the year. That is, I know, is what she's hoping for, and at this point, it's really what I'm hoping for since I've talked to her. Um, I think that kind of rounds out things. By the time I do another one of these, DragonCon will have come and gone. I will be in Atlanta for the entirety of DragonCon. Of course, we have the Thursday night meet and greet at the Medieval Times, which is going to be a lot of fun. Um, Last I knew, talking to the person helping put everything together, there were over 250 people signed up to go. So, I mean, pretty good. It was started with the idea that we might get at the most 300 people, and last I knew, we had done fairly well. 5/6, not bad. Um, However, it is like down to the wire because we do have to give them solid numbers. So I think the cutoff was like today or tomorrow to get them. Yes, these are the seats that we're filling because this is an off day for them. They normally are not open when we're going to be holding the event. It is a special open night just for the people who've signed up. No, just random people walking up and buying tickets. If you're not signed up for it, you're not getting a ticket and you're not going. So I hope everyone who is going to be there and attend has made sure to sign up for it. I know there were general signups listed on the society page and the Lit RPG page, and if you did sign up on one of those, you could have notified the individual in your post that you had like a specific author if they were going to be there you could go through. If you didn't, sign up specifically with me or Mountaindale Press, and I think Matt Dinneman also was is 100% signed on as one of the attending authors for you to meet and greet if you would like to do so as well. So there is that. I think, yeah, pretty much covers everything. For those people who do not, for whatever reason, catch me at the Medieval Times event, but are still at DragonCon, if you did want to meet up, it is possible I will have my phone with me basically all the time. So private messages via Facebook and Discord and possibly Twitter um, are probably going to be the easiest way. I will post some times and places when I'm going to be anywhere. I don't believe I'm on any panels. Nobody has told me. I have not specifically asked to be on any, even though I get to be an attending professional this year. I didn't go out of my way to try to curry favor with the people who put on panels because I really would feel uncomfortable at the front of a room trying to talk to people about things. It's it's like this, but with people actually staring at me instead of me looking at my face on the screen. So be a little more nerve wracking, I think. I already have a lot of trouble keeping on track here, so that would be probably bad. Yeah, okay. Let's get to you guys and questions and comments you guys might have had because that's why we're here to answer questions, comments, ramble on, and at the end of it, give away free things. I do have I will be taking with me some some souvenirs for those people who do find me who would like one. And no, I am not telling you what they are. You will have to find me and find out. But I believe most people will enjoy them if you are a fan of my books. We will see. All right, let's see. Getting ready to head to Warhammer for painting and such. Well, Jell, I hope you have fun with your paint. It's coming out. It is coming out on your birthday, Blit? Well, I mean, grats. The next book, Trucker, is Binding Words. Binding Words 9. And then after that will be AR. So, imagine that tonight might have a lesser audience due to it being Sunday and morning. Well, I mean, it's Sunday morning here, but it's, Sunday evening across the pond. So for my people who work odd hours and or for the European fans, this was a nod for them to maybe be able to make it easy. If I do late afternoon or evening here, it's 0 o'clock in the morning across the Atlantic. So I do try to space things out and around for people. Uh, hey Jazz, uh, my day is going pretty well. Where? Wow. Yeah, words are hard. Um, it's kind of early, but that's fine. Like I said, we try to change up the days of the week and the times to try to give more variety for people to show up. Because I know a lot of people have been hoping to get coins. Drigas, more than likely, Dungeon Walkers 4 will be a soft ending to the series. Um, I've been able to put together the 30-day cells from it, and it's pretty stark compared to the rest of my series. It is significantly lower than them. Let's see, how can I phrase this without devolving into minutia? It just meets the bills I have to pay, editors and artists. Yeah, not not great for me. So that is where I am. I will write a book for. I will take the loss on the next book just to give it a nice sense of soft closure. Um, there are a couple options I have for that. We will see how the book goes, but more than likely, Dungeon Walkers 4 will be the last of Dungeon Walkers. Um, as much as I dislike the idea, it is what it is. I know that I had a fan start up a post on Facebook about it, but I still have to meet bills at the end of the day. So, as sad as it is, we gave it a good run, but book 1 to 2 was a loss, and then book 2 to 3 was a loss, and I expect book 3 to 4 to be even bigger. So, not ideal, but we make do and we move on. It does mean that I will be starting up a new series after that, which will probably be the sci fi series that I've been batting around for a while. I am probably more than a few minutes behind at the moment, honestly. But that is fine. Um, yeah, Stephanie does good work. We had a little bit of trouble finding someone to fill in after Travis stepped out of Dungeon Walkers. Luckily she agreed, so she will be doing 3 and 4. So, uh, even Daniel just at work, but wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, thank Ghostin. I appreciate that. I hope your day at work goes well, sir. Sorry, my and if I do ever insult somebody by using the wrong pronoun, I default to the male. Have since I've been a child, so it is not a slight. It's just really hard to reprogram my brain after 40 some odd years of thinking one specific way. Just cut that in the bud now, just in case I upset somebody down the road. I have apologized in advance. I'm guessing you. I did, in fact, send out all the coins. I think there was only one that was still waiting, and that's because they got back to me late. Um, if you were, one second, I can look at my messages real quick. Okay, you are international, Jazz, which does mean that it might have gotten hung up in customs. Let's see. You gave me the last of your information like 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, it should be there, or it might have gotten hung up. I have not gotten it back yet, which I have if they've been returned. Um, if I don't see it in the mail in another week, we'll have to see if I can touch base with you again. But yeah, it was sent out. Fairly certain. Yeah, it was sent out. Yeah. I wish I wasn't so far away. I would love to go down there, living in the middle of the country. I mean, it happens, Dragos. Dragon Con is an event. I mean, it's normally thousands of dollars for people to attend between rooms and travel and everything else. So it does require forethought, planning, and being able to stock money to the side specifically for it. So it is not the easiest thing in the world. In your past writings, what was your favorite way you unalived a character? Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize killed in chat was one of those things that Twitch had an issue with. Let's see. What's the favorite way I have unalived somebody? Whew. I mean, there are quite a few. I did bite a friend in half with a Drake and spit out, basically tear his legs off and send them flying. Then again, he was stupid enough to get out of a truck with a rifle and challenge the not Drake, yeah, Drake, to basically a duel. In AG2, I believe. Yeah, I think it was AG2. Um, Millhouse is the name of somebody I know. Millhouse not being his first name in real life, but yeah, yeah, biting him in half was fun. He enjoys that. He is probably not here currently, but if he is, he will say hi. How is everyone in your family doing? I remember one of your girlfriends had back issues. Well, life is life, and as you get older, you find that you have physical ailments that don't want to heal up the way they should. So we continue with slow progress and hoping things improve. They both the girlfriends are mobile at this point, so we have gotten over the worst moments at this point in time. I still have fun with painting my battle tech. It's on my list of do's as well. Fair enough, Joe. I am very very horrible at painting miniatures. Have been for a very long time. It's not going to improve anytime soon. At this point, I have stopped trying for anything outside of I can dunk it in a tin of paint, basically, because fine control is something I struggle with. He's going to be giving away free bunny girls. Jazz, if I had free bunny girls to give away, I still wouldn't give them away. Listening while you're at work. Well, Baron, thank you for at least keeping me in the background. I appreciate that. I can imagine you having thousands of people coming to see your panels. Yeah, no, it really wouldn't happen, Xerox. I mean, it's a fun thought, but honestly, if if I did a panel and like four people I don't hang out with like all the time during Dragon Con showed up, I would be pretty amazed. Those panels would be full not for me, but for other people there. Let's be honest. I appreciate the positive thought you give, but I'm more of a realist. I really doubt I would have more than a handful of people show up just to see me. Too tall trucker. Going to have breakfast with the family, but I wanted to leave a shout out. Thank you for the coin. Can't wait to see you at Dragon Con. Well, too tall. I know that you are going to be there, and we will end up seeing each other at the Medieval Times event, if not any other time. So, uh, sad face. I hate to see it, but I understand. Gotta go where the money is. I look forward to the next series. Thank you very much for giving me. I don't want to leave series without endings. I mean, even Resurrection Quest, with which stopped after one book because, ow, um, at least ended in a spot that was okay to leave it. They had finished up the quest and they were moving on, so it was a decent enough spot to be able to put it down. I would love to be able to go back and revisit it at some point, and maybe eventually when I don't have to think about builds so much, I can do so because I still enjoy the world setting for it, even if the main characters didn't grab people. No, because Xerox one, the series is going to end, and he's sorry. He asked, "Do you think Dungeon Walkers is going to be dirtier now that you have a different narrator?" Oh, did you? Well, we'll go ahead and give it now. It is actually under contract with Mountaindale Press, and my agreement with them when I sold it, when I basically handed over the rights for the audiobooks to them, was that it would not be explicit. So, no. And then everyone dies. Could you fund Dungeon Walkers using your Patreon or something like that? Um, Time and effort plus editors and so on, Rhett, is how it balances out. It has to be able to meet bills I have to pay people plus my personal bills. Um, I mean, could I do rough text and like throw a chapter on Patreon every there so the story continued? Yes, people would not enjoy my rough text though. My editor is laughing in the background as I speak. So, um, and every bit of time I devote to writing that would be longer for the next book I publish to come out because that chapter could have been a chapter of the next Aethers or Binding Words or whatever else. So I can only keep so many things rotating at any given time. I hope your mech story will be dirtier than Apocalypse Gates. Completely impossible, Xerox. Um, yeah, no, I, I, I can't foresee getting something more explicit than that. Match the explicitness? Yeah, maybe. exceed the explicitness, nah. I don't want more than 10% of any book to be sex. Because at that point, it's just fap fodder. It's not a story. I mean, if fap fodder is what you're looking for, plenty of other books out there that can scratch that itch. I'd rather have a decent story with maybe some um, sex in it than sex with possibly a little bit of plot. Uh, so in AG, Alvin's crew is Team Asshole. When you ended the books, all of his ladies were expecting. What would be their team name? For some reason, I got stuck on Team Hemorrhoid. I mean, they would still be assholes because that's who they are. They're very unapologetic about what they have to do and why they do it. So just because they have kids and stuff, I don't see where their name would change. Hey, sup? Glad you could make it to the chat. Oh, Alvin's kids. Depends. I mean, how their children are raised, what their personalities come out to. Um, some would probably never pick up the whole idea of hey, let's go kill things and loot their bodies because people adapt and grow. So it'd be hard to say. If I ever get around to writing more, maybe we'll find out. And Sammy answering questions for me in chat, which I appreciate. Yeah, there's the sex. I don't. You basically you get a scene per love interest, unless there is a character moment that should be shown during that scene. There's a defining moment that really reinforces things. That's just the style I've gone to, which is why most of my books follow that now. Otherwise, you know how they're going to have sex. You've seen it. We've covered it. Um, I don't see the need to fit in another sex chapter just so it's in there. So damn customs. Yeah, pretty much. It just seems like more and more authors are trying to move to clean books. Um, More than likely, it's because people are afraid of the crackdown Amazon has slowly been supposedly doing, where they have been hammering erotica more and more. So, I mean, I can't really blame people who are making their living for wanting to have their cake and eat it too. You can still find books that are gratuitous. However, they're not easy to find anymore unless you're on, very specific fan pages because of the fact that they're slowly whittling through things. You want to, it would be cool to know what the Drake said if I remember. Been a long time since I wrote that book, but it was basically along the lines of "You're a fool to challenge me, but sure, let's do this." Paraphrasing. It's what it came down to. I mean, it would be like an ant standing up on its hind legs and shaking its fist at you, and you just going, huh, huh, okay, sure. Of course, the ant had a 50 cal basically, and well, 308, and that hurt more than the Drake was expecting to get shot inside its own mouth. But hey, the Ravens. I enjoyed the Ravens. This is the first time I made it to a stream at the start of it. Well, Shadowblade, welcome in. Just remember that I am slow in questions and comments as has been stated because I do try to get to as many of them as I can, and not just try to keep up on everything going on because that means the longer I take to answer all the questions, the longer the chat goes, which means we get to interact more, which is kind of the point. Excuse me. How often do you kill someone in a book that is based on someone you didn't like in real life? Never, actually, Crimson. Um, I have never put anyone into a book to kill them because I did not like them in real life. I have never put anyone I did not like into a book to kill. I haven't done it. When I know that someone's going to be an asshole and they're going to die, I have asked like my girlfriends, "Hey, give me a name of somebody you dislike," and put their name in the book. But honestly, I don't dislike people enough to be like, and I'm going to put you in here to kill you. If I just dislike you that much, I just don't think about you. You stop becoming a person to me. Why waste my time thinking about somebody I dislike? So no, I haven't. I haven't used names of people I dislike in real life. And I know people always ask. I will retell the story briefly. Skippy showing up in series and being killed repeatedly started because of Alpha World, because the Skippy Gildan of Alpha World was hated so much by the fan base at the time. They wanted to see him die over and over again. So basically, what you have is a little homage to the many deaths of Skippy throughout the series at this point. If there is a Skippy, they normally die fairly soon after being seen. I did break that once with Binding Words, and since Book 7 is out on audio, I can say that Skippy Carver was the longest lived Skippy outside of Skippy Gildan from Alpha World. But even he died. So, normally it's the first idiot up who does something that is going to get him killed is probably named Skippy. Let's be honest. Uh, I have 27 currently when I look down Xerox. I think that's pretty good. I mean, Sunday morning here on the West Coast, um, afternoon on the East Coast, and evening across the Atlantic. I'm It's not bad. Well, hello, Colorado Springs. I'm glad you could make it, Klee. Klee Kai? Klee. Klee. You sound like you should be very happy, Klee. It was there, you'd be a reason I'd go. So I'd probably be annoying and stick around, or at least coming back if I wanted. Fair enough, Jazz. Could you maybe go back to Resurrection Quest world with different main characters? I mean, yeah, possibly, Dre. I have a lot of other things in my head that I would like to put on paper. A lot of people said it was the main characters that were the problem with Resurrection Quest, and it very probably was. Honestly, not a lot of redeeming factors in the people that were the main group there. Um, but I have things like the sci-fi story I want to get to, and other. I don't want to. I don't want to think about them because if I start thinking about the ideas, then I want to write them. I have other things that I would like to get to write that I haven't yet. Eventually, will I get back to that? Yes. If nothing else, I would go back and pick up that system because I really enjoyed the open-ended tabletop-esque system that I had put around Resurrection Quest. Um, that was kind of the idea when I was writing it was okay. Well, let's get an open system that at least people can kind of see resemblances to and see what goes. So, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Ah, yes. I think we should call this place your grave. Ah, Wash was a great character. Too bad the Reavers had to clean their spears. Trust me, no raw text for y'all. I suffer so you can enjoy. The editor throws herself on those raw words and gets them all nice and tidy and clean for you all. It sounds dirty, and it is. It really is. Yeah, no, the only reason there was a 5 book in rotation the one time was because I was waiting to be able to take the trip to be able to do Apocalypse Gates. 4 books is the most rotation I will do at this point. My Airbnb canceled on me for Dragon Con, so I have to search for another one. Ooh, that's not good, Sup. Best of luck, because I know things are getting tighter and tighter down there as things get closer and closer. That's what they said. Yes. Best way to do a good do a, to do a story, good story with some spicy moments. That's what I look for, Moon. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be monkeysis, moonkesis. Could be moon, could be keys, could be sis, could be all of these things put together in a blender. I would try not to. I mean, imagine the screeching. Just 10 more just 10 more years to find out. I mean, yeah, it depends on how things go. In Lux's voice series, is the law against healing by faith healers and shaman a town ordinance or a national law? Klee asks. If you're asking about the laws of healing, it is actually nationally mandated. That's why he looked at the laws. The laws were not just based for Deep Gulch and Coal Run. He was looking at those laws, but also national laws, because the nation being built the way it is in that world, they would like to not have competition. Moon key system. It sounds like a bunch of Primites with the typewriter. Could be. I mean, it's a system. What? How do you think you can get Hamlet? Enough monkeys and typewriters, you'll get there eventually. I mean, that's how I work. I just roll my face back and forth across the keyboard and hope the words come out. The way it seems you write a sex scene is to advance the development of character or characters. Pretty much. I mean, it should have a moment. Normally, sex scenes are there to show slight vulnerability between characters, how they're approaching each other. Um, there's a point to it. It's not just let's smash uglies together and see what happens. At least not for my books. I can't think I've done that in any series. Might have come really close in AG a couple of times, but normally there's point to it. You're welcome, Xerox. I'm glad I can help fill in the blank on the Drake. I might have missed it, but is Dungeon Walker's ending soon? Sup, the answer is yes, book 4 I will soft end the series. Sex scenes which have meanings because it gets dirtier, raunchier. Can I do this from my phone, getting it ready to drive? Um, and Sammy says she has answered for you. I hope at least the audio is working for you. Being killed by the Overlord Ogre Lord is a privilege. I mean, I have killed a number of fans in their cameo appearances. Some people have had surprisingly long runs as cameo appearances. The Archivist, of course, Paul Erickson, also. Well, let's see. There were a couple in Apocalypse Gates that survived. Um, but Paul Erickson, I think, and the Archivist. The Archivist was kind of planned. Um, the fact that that character was going to be around. Paul Erickson having the longevity he did so far through the first 5 books. He wasn't really there for book 5, first 4 books, and likely to show up again later sometime in the series. Was not um, planned when I gave that cameo away. It just, that's the way the character went. So, I mean, sometimes people get lucky with their cameos. Other times, Alvin shoots them in the head 3 minutes after meeting them because that was Alvin. Well, looks like the change in narrators can't. No, audio doesn't factor into it, Xerox. Audio is something separate from what I look at. I don't ever look at ebook sales because audio sales compared to ebook sales are a fraction of what I make. So I do audiobooks for those people who have a hard time reading, for my truckers, one of my friends who's basically dyslexic and really can't sit down and read. That's why I do audiobooks. I don't do them because I'm going to make a whole lot of money off them. This was a thing I said to my bullies or antagonizers that I feel touched that they spend their very finite lifetime to think of me, about me, and or speak to me, regardless of the nature of it. Yeah, I mean, if why am I gonna waste? Why would you waste time talking about talking or thinking about people that don't matter to you? And their original Skippy gets respawned and killed multiple times in a raid event. Well, I mean, I wanted to make it fitting. What's the basic plot to the sci-fi series? Well, you'll see eventually. Um, it will have mecha involved in it. I am moving away from calling it a mecha series to just a sci-fi series, considering the way I normally write my books. Mecha will play an important part. Um, will they show up every book as like the key pivotal thing? Probably not. So I'm just calling it a sci-fi series at this point to make it track a little easier. All this talk of Skippy makes me want to go back and reread Alpha World. I mean, you can spend your day in worse places. Uh, Moon Key System. Mm. I've been reading a lot of Korean modern day gate apocalypse with select people becoming player type novels. I'm wondering if you would do something of that style where the romance isn't as annoying as those. I don't do high school romances. I have a hard time with the young adult theme, honestly. It's one of the reasons Aethers came out the way it did. So fun fact, I think I've only mentioned it once before, maybe in a live chat. AR almost had Rhea become a mage and go with Gregory off to the academy. And I decided out of it because at that point it was going to very much become a young adult twisted romance. You know, how do you overcome grow moving on and so on and so forth. And I was never that person in high school. I was never the oh my god the drama. So I can't write it. So um, I went with the other option, which was Gregory goes off alone, which made a lot more sense to me when I got to that point in the book, and I I think it's worked out so far. The idea of modern day gate apocalypse, though, I mean, Apocalypse Gates was kind of my take on the apocalypse setting. I have had thoughts of a different style of it. Um, Possibly. I mean, I have considered a different modern day apocalypse slash um, massive change to Earth style of book, and I have thoughts on it, but I want to do the sci-fi book first, so I would need something like Finding Words or something to wrap up before I even gave it more thought. Uh, Books 5 through 7 were much cleaner. Haven't got to 8 yet. 8 has one, two, three. I want to say like 5 different sex scenes in it. Xerox. I want to say not positive, but I think that's right. Yeah, I definitely like your scenes better since it isn't just shallow or sex. It's better that way. That there is a love and connection. I mean, it just I'd rather have that myself, McKnight. So I mean, it's just the way it's going. As an exclusive audio listener, because of a reading disorder and profession, you have said that audiobooks are kind of a break even thing, and I must say thank you for putting books out in audio format. No problem, Outlaw. I mean, that's why I said I have a friend who's dyslexic, cannot read. Would probably drive him insane and cause him to become a very unpleasant individual if he tried. More unpleasant individual if he tried. Um, but between him and my trucker fans and stuff, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I still make money on audiobooks. It's not like I am. I do make money. I am not just breaking even or losing money on them. But I don't make nearly what I make off of ebooks. But yeah, I do them for people like you. That's what they're there for, so you guys can enjoy things. And Jen is also a cameo. Um, her moving on from book two in and through the series was also not exactly planned out. That's just the way the story went. So it was highly amusing to me though. Yeah. I hope one day that eventually I will be killed in a book. So if we got a really large book, sup. Wait. Yeah. Really large book, right? Yeah. But then he'd be in the book. Where was I? Sorry I'm late. No problem, Rainator. You made it in. Welcome in. We appreciate it. Mom's here. Everyone, mom's here. Make sure to misbehave. I mean, behave-ish. Will there be such a thing as Mecha Bunny Girl? I don't. If you mean like a mecha in the shape of a bunny girl, no. No. I think I removed it. I had put up briefly like the first two chapters of my idea of the start of the series up on Patreon a while ago. I think I since removed it. Yeah, it was raw text. Um, because I was pretty sure I was going to use that as the basis moving forward, and which means I'd have to repost chat. Basically end up reposting chapters after they'd been edited. I was just like, okay, well, let's just go ahead and yank this down because it's been like a year since then. It's been a while, and I think I removed it when I was going through the other day and removing things because I do go back and remove some stuff from Patreon that I just wasn't happy with or so. And of course, chapters get yanked for preview books within accordance of Amazon rules, blah 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 blah. But some of the art that has been posted over the time that I've had Patreon up, it's been yanked down. They're just like, I don't really want to leave that up anymore. So I remove things periodically from Patreon. Where I know it's down here. Oh yeah, there we go. Rain, after Dungeon Walkers 4, yes, I will be starting a new series. I use the Audible books as a second, third, fourth, and so on rereads. I mean, fair enough struggles. I have a tendency to put the audiobooks back on when I am writing a current book. Like right now, I'm writing Binding Words 9. So I started back on Binding Words 1, and I've been getting through a couple of chapters a day when I go for my walks. Um, I will finish the audiobooks before I finish writing the book, probably. But next time I do that, I might need to like skip the first two books or something. It takes a while to get through all the binding words at this point. Uh, binding words still has binding words still has 21 more books to go. Um, doubtful, Xerox. Doubtful. How many current books do you have planned for binding words, or is the series starting to wrap up? Hang on, Brie Bria Evels, I'm gonna call you Bria. Hey Bria. I don't know. The series is my entire story. Um, it always seems to take me longer to finish than I consider. I mean, Alpha World was the same way. Apocalypse Gates was kind of the same way. Um, so I can't really say. I would doubt I do more than four more books in the series. Probably be less than that, honestly. But I've been wrong before. Um, but I mean, things are just falling into place. He's made it to a chord. He's starting to set things up by the end of book eight. For I would say 9, 10, 11, 12 at the most if we get to 12. I've been wrong though. Who knows? I might end up getting to 16 because it takes that long. You'll find out. I'll find out just before you find out. Uh, Same with AR, but it's hard for me to see how Lux Voice could go for that. Lux Voice still has a finite point. I mean, book five is going to be published in a few days. There's probably gonna be more of a time skip in Lux Voice than there is any other series, honestly. Um, but even that, considering where book five ends, still got a ways to go. But 21 books, maybe Aethers. I don't know if any of the other series would make it that long. Hi, Mom. I made it to the point where Mom shows up. I'm not sure how far back that is, honestly. Oh, sure enough. 5 minutes ago. That means I'm catching up to everyone. Woo! Oh no, I have caught up to everyone. That's terrible, everyone. I've caught up to you. Let's see. That was Mom showing up. Mom is here. Hi, Mom. I'm so proud of all my kids. So, yeah, you can say that. You're just saying that in case my sisters show up. So they don't feel bad. We know that I'm your favorite kid at this point, Mom. We know that I'm your favorite child at this point. It's okay. You can tell them. They should get used to more disappointment in life. It's all right. We're gonna go ahead and recap just things going on to let you guys run off ahead of me again because that would be good. No, I haven't even started my water yet. I'm almost done with my coffee. So recap. Of course, Lux Voice 5 will be published this coming Wednesday. Probably later in the day Wednesday. So for those people who are like, it's going to come out at midnight. No, it's not. Midnight releases are something you do if you pre-order. I don't pre-order, so I can get you the books as basically as quickly as I can. Otherwise, the book wouldn't release until like the 20th because I should have the book Tuesday-ish, and then I got to make sure that things are good, and then I have to, get things together. So I'd rather publish on the 17th than right away, and instead of being like, okay, I finally have the book all together, let's put up a pre-order, which will take 3 extra days because that's the shortest time you can do a pre-order with. Where was I? Book five, Lux Voice, Lux Holdings will publish on the 17th. Audio wise, I believe Stephanie Savannah is starting on Dungeon Walkers 3. I could be wrong. That goes through Mountaindale Press. I do not know exactly. I have talked to Andy from like October through the end of the year. She has very few books outside of mine to get through. She is hoping to get through the backlog by the end of the year. So we can hope and pray that comes to fruition. She does have trips planned to like see family, and of course, anytime you travel nowadays, there is a chance that you might get something that affects your voice. Um, because otherwise, she's like me; she stays home. It's less likely she's going to catch the flu or something. But since she is going to be traveling, there's a chance that she might get delayed slightly due to illness. We hope and pray she does not. Um, the next book up after Lux Voice 5 will, of course, be Binding Words 9, which I have been writing. And the preview chapters for that will be starting on Thursday on Patreon. And I think that kind of wraps up that. And then, of course, there's the obligatory Dragon Con, which will happen before the next live chat. That is going to be happening, of course, with the Medieval Times meet and greet for those people who are going to be there during Dragon Con. And that kind of catches us up with everything. So, now we can try to catch up on chat again. If you guys haven't run off far enough away from me yet, it's possible. Let's see. Mom was here. I have missed so many books, lots and lots to catch up on. Last Binding Words, I think, was 5. You have a few to catch up on, Moon. If you're doing audio, then it's through 7 currently. If you're doing ebooks, then it's through 8 currently. Now, aside from your now famous story of how you talked Alvin from AG from being a paladin, what other characters have you had to do something like that for? None really, Outlaw. My characters are pretty consistent. The only other major story deviation I had was, like I said, when I briefly considered Rhea going off to train as a mage as well. Um, and then I quickly went back and decided, no, let's not do this. I haven't had any other major deviations in story. Um, Now I like to think my characters are fairly consistent. So, I mean, most of them are basically normal people who would like to do a little better for the world. Um, the main character I have planned for the sci-fi series is not as let's help everyone. Um, I would say more towards Alvin than Sean or Gregory. Um, so does show that he cares for people, but doesn't also mind shooting a motherfucker in the face if they deserve it. So there is that for those people who are looking for someone who's a little more cut and dry about uh, taking care of people who get in their way. You'll probably enjoy the sci-fi books. I don't think he's quite as I don't think he's going to be quite as ruthless as Alvin in some cases. But the way I planned him, since he is going to have been a private military contractor, he is going to have a very flexible moral ground to stand on. Not quite as well, that's against the law. We shouldn't do that. As opposed to, can I get away with it? But we'll see. Hey, Nelly, first time chat from viewer. Welcome in. Glad you could make it. I am glad you are excited for the new release. I am, of course. I will lean back as far as I can. I do, of course, have on the Luck shirt to celebrate. I pulled it. Luck shirt. She matching me today. It's a delay of like 30 seconds or so. Yeah, see? There you are. I'm wearing that shirt. Not as well, but I'm wearing it. As wearing it. Do you feel violated? A little bit, yeah. Good. In Binding Words, do you think Sean could bring in the phone or something like that? I think it would change society a bit too much. He is trying at the moment to walk a fine line because I know people have been like, trains, he should do trains, and I'm like, that would like to just deliberately throw flags everywhere. The Queens would get involved now because that kind of invention would just change how things happen. Um, he is trying to make life, like just everyday life, better for people around him. And as it is, the things he's already started to do are going to create enough waves that eventually things are going to come to a head. But if he was like, yeah, I'm totally going to build a train between here and Hearthglen, um, just the sheer scale of what that would mean of building would get people involved long before it ever came to fruition. So unlikely for Sean to do so. Is Lux Voice also going to stay in the West, or they eventually want to go to the capital? Um, Hard to say, Sup. I mean, you have to figure the East is going to be much more entrenched with APOC. Um, More than likely, he would stay in the West for a while. Try to rally more of the frontier around the idea of worshiping a goddess again. Will he eventually get there? I mean, seems likely. Will it devolve into a war? Would it be more? Can he find a way to make it more peaceable, peaceable, peaceful, more peaceful way of integrating things? I mean, it's all up in the air at the moment. So I'm hoping we get to the point of Herald or Monarch level combat and displays a power that Cradle has. I'm assuming Jay that you're talking McKnight that you're talking about Aethers. Um, Aethers will ramp in power as, of course, they grow in rank and go up. Um, if if you're talking about different series, like Doc is probably never going to wield massive cosmic power on a scale that is actually offensive. That's just not who Doc is. Um, Sean has the ability at this point, honestly. If you look at just where the stories have gone to this point, it's just not his personality, but he could, if pressed, and not being drained from having to do 20 different things beforehand, probably break armies. Um, I don't know if we're gonna get there. We will have to see. But for Aethers, yeah, as things ramp up, there will be more power and different types of magic thrown around for people to see. Yeah, for AR. I just needed to scroll down a little more. I hadn't. He puts a book out. We all go out and buy it. He buys a new house. This is a I mean, if that worked, like I published a new book and I now had enough money to go buy a new house, like just yeah, here's $250,000 or 500, depending on where you live. Out here, 200 to 300,000 will buy you a really nice house because I live in the middle of nowhere still, and the housing market hasn't come back down all the way yet. Um, that would be amazing. I'd love to make 300,000 per book. If that was the case, I wouldn't be stopping Dungeon Walkers. So it would be nice. Thank you for catching up on what's going on. Andy is the greatest. Please, longer or more bloopers. Klee, I agree. Andy is the greatest. The bloopers are there are more bloopers when she is live recording because she doesn't always remember to record everything. Um, when she gets to a blooper, because normally it's a pause of something and she has to back up to go and re-record something. So she's not. It's not always recording all the way through. She messes up, she stops, she laughs about it. There's a riff on it normally in the chat, which will make her laugh more, and then she'll go back and start recording again. How it happens most of the time. Every once in a while, she will, while recording, break up laughing and go on a tangent. And then that's all recorded. And if we can get her to cut it out and save it, which is how you end up with most of your bloopers. Um, but sometimes she doesn't remember and she immediately goes back to start recording again. Happens. Um, she doesn't want to just try to patch them all in either. It has to be something that she one remembered to save and two she thought was funny enough to include. So do a chat during Dragon Con. I don't have a booth actually, Shadow. I am not. I would make no money doing that. I don't bring physical books and stuff with me because that's what all that is. And from what I understand, I would have to talk to Mountaindale Press and Shadow Alley and them again. I don't think they quote unquote make a lot of money doing that. It's more the uh, press of the flesh, the oh hey, you'd probably be interested in trying to get more people involved in, and those are publishers. Um, I know Alaron for a while had a booth. Uh, I don't think he is doing booths. He might be doing a booth this year. I haven't looked. Dragon Con hasn't published who's what and where entirely yet. Um, but just random author, I would lose money trying to have a booth, and then because I'd also then have to man it. There'd have to be someone there all the time that the shop area is open. This way, they could chat and be like, "Oh, you'd probably enjoy this book better." And I'd have to have bought all of the books to try to sell them, and or had QR code take them to the Amazon page so they could buy the Kindle book. It gets complicated. Something that I really, really, really don't want to do. And trying to fly with 200 pounds worth of books is as as Sammy says. Um, the way around that is I do know people who drive because it's much closer, but it would still be shipping 200 pounds of books. And then, like I said, making sure someone's always at the booth, and it gets complicated for Mountaindale Press and stuff since they have what like dozens of authors now. It's easier for them to always have a couple of people in the booth. An author who will talk to you and tell you about their books and maybe mention one or two other series that you would enjoy. Than for like me. Um, Dragon Con especially. Some of the other cons, smaller cons, um, maybe I haven't found any other con. So I live near Vegas, and I think there's an anime con here, but there's not any other like big con here where I'd be like, yeah, I totally want to see about getting a booth and trying to talk people into reading Harem. So that was a segue from doing a chat during Dragon Con. Yeah, yeah. I know Ramon has done live chats live for his Lit RPG channel. Um, but yeah, I don't think I would do that very well. Probably not. We'll go probably not. Do you see Dungeon Walker? I already answered that question, Mom. I'm not gonna answer Mom's question. That'll teach Mom. That's what you get for not just flatly stating I'm your favorite. I'm not gonna answer your question. I'm sorry, I'm not more talkative. Turns out suddenly putting an offer on a house and surprisingly getting it is exhausting. It can be easy. I can see where that would take up a lot of your time and mental space, and that's fine. It's okay. We understand. Um, I hope it is what you were hoping and looking for. It's what you want. It's not just, well, this is the one we're gonna have. Um, and if it is, great. And if it's not, then I hope you come to enjoy it. As if she could. I haven't gotten to the comment yet, but Sammy's over there reading things out at me. Where was I? Also, Binding Words. Will there be more healing done? I really enjoy reading the hospital scenes in the last book. Um, Probably sup. I mean, he has set himself up as a healer there to try to garner more allies. We'll have to wait and see. I had to take a break from reading for a year, and there was so many series to catch up on. You were the next author on deck, and Binding Words was my favorite series from you, and that is where I will start. Of course, Luck's Voice was a close second, and we'll follow that. I appreciate it, Moon. I hope you enjoy catching back up. When is Binding Words 9 estimated to be released? Um, it's gotta be, yeah, it's well after Dragon Con. I think it's sometime in October currently. I'd have to go and look at the FAQ on Facebook or Discord. Um, Currently, it says October 26th, I've been told. Um, Now, of course, I always try to publish sooner than later, but that is the last estimate I have. Oh, and Leon Lambert is an asshole in books 1 through 7, but in books 5 through 7, he is kinder. Well, I mean, yeah, it's character development. Him and Gothi basically rub off on each other. Yes, that pun is intended. That is totally intended. And have smoothed out their edges from such friction of rubbing across each other repeatedly that that they start to learn how to not be just complete assholes to everyone right away. Uh, that'd be 9, Rain. Binding Words 9. 10. 10 would be 6 months after whenever 9 publishes. Is the sci-fi going to be a space opera? Like they are on a ship? I would love finally to have a new harem space opera. Um, there will be a ship involved. I can say that. I've already named the ship. The ship is named Fractured Dreams. Um, I had so yes, there will be a ship involved. There will be mech involved. There will be a space station involved. It should be a nice proper sci-fi series, but with my own spin on following one main character trying to get along in life. Not just massive space battles and ground tearing up mecha and that kind of thing. I'd rather have a character story with elements around it. But yes, there will be a ship. There will be space elements. Fairly sci-fi, I would say. Is your sci-fi series you're planning? Will there still be beastkin elves and dwarves? Yes, outlaw. There will be other than human. There will be other than human. I can say that right now without having to think about it. There will be other than human in that series. We already know that Doc will end up conquering things, and then when he leaves, Evil Posey will take over and enslave the planet. I mean, according to Andy, yeah, I think that is Andy's canon right now, as far as I'm aware, Xerox. She is firmly on board that Posey is actually the evil mastermind behind everything in Lux voice. I would love to see you do magic slash sci-fi series. I don't have. I mean, technically, I mean it depends on how you look at magic. Magic is technology that you don't understand, basically. Technology, sufficiently advanced technology could be considered magic, and sufficiently advanced magic can be considered technology, depending on how you look at things. There is going to be, I can say, there's going to be artificial intelligences. There's going to be nanotech involved. So in a way, yes, there will be magic because if you can't explain it, but it kind of works, it's kind of what magic is. Are you thinking of making the queens full enemy, or are they going to be wives, or maybe one enemy and one wife? I mean, I haven't written it yet, Shadow. I can't say. I mean, my characters do crazy shit all the time. Until I write it and it has been edited, I can't 100% say definitively one way or the other. One thing I'm looking forward to seeing in Lux's voice is Leah cutting loose and showing why everyone is scared shitless of her. I mean, probably going to happen at some point. Probably going to happen at some point. Deathflower will end up just, going on a rampage until she can get calmed down. Probably at some point. No, I do not make. I don't even make 100K per book Xerox. If I did, I would be amazing, and I would already have my house built, and I'd probably have property paid off, and I would have no mortgage, and I wouldn't be quite so Dungeon Walkers can't go on right now kind of thing. Since that is not the case, though, we make do with what we have. Will Greg ever be able to meld powers together at some point? Also, will some of the healers in Accord ally with Sean? Well, Bria, both of those things are possible. Um, Neither of those things has happened to this point. So will they happen? I don't know yet. I have not written it. That is sadly my answer on anything about will this happen because I have not written it yet. I do not know. Do you prefer Gate Isekai type books or ones where the MC is from the world the book is on? They both have their places here. Um, they both have their time and place. Um, Either one of them. Yes, I stopped and posted from the side of the road, and I'm not posting while driving. Well, that's good. I would hope that you would be a responsible individual. Um, both of those things have their time and place. It all comes down to how the story is going to run. Um, Taking somebody and isekaiing them into a world makes it easier narrative wise because then they are finding out and learning about the world universe, um, which means you also get to learn about the world universe. One of the major complaints, I should say, that I've had from Dungeon Walkers is I don't explain some things like the Blighted and stuff enough for people to catch on. And that's because for the main character and people living in the world, Blighted are the Blighted. They know. There are hints about them posted throughout all the books, so you can probably start cobbling together an idea. But I don't really explain it because you wouldn't really get Stern going, "Hey, somebody tell me about these Blighted I keep hearing about." Because it's just a part of the world. They have an idea of what's going on. They know these things already. Um, so I can say that doing like an isekai fish out of water type thing does help because then you can have those moments of, okay, hang on, you guys all seem really afraid of these Blighted, and supposedly they're up north and they're a bad deal. Tell me a bit about that, please. So the context can happen. I mean, even for Luck's voice, when Doc is trying to figure out what is what, and he doesn't want to tip his hand with not knowing things, he can still kind of work his way around to getting answers of how things work so you can understand along with him. It does make the storytelling for the readers easier because, like, if you're just a random person for whatever reason, um, you're very unlikely to have the conversation of how does a sink work. You just know that hey, water comes out of the sink. Most people, that's about what you're going to get. Let's be honest. You might understand how the piping works, whether or not you live in a city and it's coming from a municipal source, whether you live on a place that's got a well and if there's a pump associated to it. You know that water comes out of tap. You don't have to explain, hey, if you want water, get some from the sink because you understand, and everyone kind of understands that, hey, if you want water, you can get it out of a sink. Now, in some cities, it's probably a bad idea, let's be honest, but it's just kind of known. So there's that bit of if an alien came to the planet and they didn't have the same system set up, they might be like, yeah, I'm really thirsty. You guys keep saying that I can go get a drink, but I don't see any dispenser in here that I'm used to. And you might have that moment of, oh, let me explain how sinks work to you. So I can say that. Um, Isekai does make world building a little easier because it gives you a nice, easy hook to do so. Um, where I gotta find where I was. Hang on. Okay, yeah, right there. Semi truck drivers with flatbed loaded down with all your books. It would sell out well. Only in my mind, you're still amazing. I mean, I appreciate that, Xerox. I'm humbled the fact that people think that I'm an amazing author. I still think of myself as just somebody who puts the random stories in his head down, and people, funnily enough, and seem to enjoy them. Um, Still have a problem with that from my own point of view. Um, but I do know that I am not I am not Butcher. I'm not Martin. I'm not King. I'm not Rolling, and I'll probably never reach those heights, and that's fine. Um, as long as I can pay the people I have to pay and meet the bills I have to meet, I will keep doing this because I enjoy what I do, and I like the fact that people enjoy them. Don't make me put you in the corner, Mom. I would like to see you try in this day and age, but you should really just tell my sisters that I'm your favorite child. Uh, Mom, your son bought you a whole house. What does it take to be your favorite child? I mean, right, Mom? Jeez. I have a question for T. Shinhofen. Do you know if she answered that? I don't know. I have a question for T. Shinhofen. How can moms make even a thrown flip flop a deadly weapon and use it with expert skill? Um, I can say my mother has never made a flip flop a deadly weapon and thrown it with expert skill. Um, Not in her repertoire. My mother's greatest weapon was wait till your father gets home. That's when we knew that we had done fucked up so much that it wasn't going to be the spatula or the wooden spoon for us. No, 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 no. It was going to be Dad's belt when he got home. So, yeah. Not the sandal, though. My mother has never taken off a piece of footwear and thrown it at anyone that I'm aware of. If she has, I'd like to hear the story, Mom. I bet there will be some kind of bunny girl on the ship or on a planet the MC visits. Jazz, I have just a hunch, a theory, kind of random, that perhaps you might like bunny girls. Just, 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 just popped into my head. I have no basis for this idea, I'm sure, but uh, love getting to listen again. Gotta go now. Have a good. No problem, Moon. Please make sure you stop back later. See if you're one of the winners. People get messaged here on Twitch. Um, I don't know. I'll have to wait till I get to that comment, I guess. Oh, probably not. Uh, will Greg end up using raw Aethernet attacks? I mean, he hasn't yet. Can he? Will he? I don't know yet. I think I saw a New York Times article that said most authors make somewhere between 25 to 45. 25K to 45K. I would say that most most not top tier authors probably make somewhere in that range. Yes. Uh, I'm sorry to hear. I do my part to buy all your books. Spread the word. Okay. When the travelers show up, you could have them ask questions then. I mean, yeah, fair enough, Shadow. Game games and such too. Which book is the sci-fi book replacing? And people answered it for me. So, but I'll answer it for you verbally. Games and such. Dungeon Walkers. Um, like most of them Xerox, we had stops, we had plans, we had fun. We did a escape room. Um, we survived the escape room, or we escaped the escape room with time to spare. So we did good. We had fun that day. Apologies, I heard you say Deathflower would do her thing, and my brain visualized the last Starfighter and Death Blossom. I mean, fair enough, yeah. Fair enough. Good evening. A. Stream at a time. I am awake. B. Just wanted to say how much I appreciate Dungeon Walkers 3, especially the return of certain characters from Alpha World. Fair enough, Morgan. Um, I'm glad that the stream is during a time you're awake this time. This is one of the reasons I decided to hold it at o'clock and at early morning my time. So other people could maybe join during a time they're awake. I do realize I have fans across the globe, and therefore I should try to do things at different times so everyone gets at least a chance to show up. I can't believe that such a sweet old man as your father would ever have resorted to physical violence. I mean, I'm an 80s kid, Rob. Literally, I was born in 80. There was time and place in that generation where if you done fucked up, your dad spanked you. He ain't here. He would say hi. Which one? No, Rob is Rob on Facebook too. Him and Dad have exchanged messages back and forth on various posts. Still have ship your planet from people ships. At that point, you think about like one of ships of your set thing. You get that was on my screen. Like I'm having issue. So I don't know if I'm actually having issue or not, or everyone to watch myself. I don't know if it's still if people can still hear this thing since it keeps pausing. It's a tweet major hiccup, which we've been. Okay, well let's see if I can blast through questions then. I have no idea how far back I am. Oh, only a couple minutes. That's let's try to get through questions then, since Twitch is gonna apparently spasm and have seizures. Uh, my big question is, once you get to the point where you can have I answer that one. Tried the wooden spoon, it kept breaking. Well, get thicker wooden spoons. Not anymore. Wouldn't help. You're not strong enough to try that anymore. Even though I don't have an overabundance of the joys of time zones. Yeah, that's why, Morgan. That's why I decided to have one earlier my time instead of 3, 5 in the evening my time, which is o'clock in the morning for the people across the Atlantic. Have you ever thought about doing a eugenics series? No, no, I'm really not in the hey, let's make the perfect human, because that'll never go right. I was wondering which books the Dark Hand characters are from. Now I need to go and read Alpha World. Yes, Argon. If you have never read Alpha World, more things will become clear to you. He's busy making cookies. Well, I mean, he does make some pretty decent cookies. People's internet was going haywire. Yes, yes. That was probably when Twitch was having a seizure. Thank you for the Resurrection Quest challenge. I hope that we talked about that was the series I was saddest for. Headline for it, and then it didn't happen. Sad. Uh, He's back to smooth again, and then I'm back to twitchy again because Twitch. Okay, think I've actually caught up to you guys as it is. Yep, I have caught up to the end of questions. We have done it an hour and a half with last like 7 minutes being Twitch having seizures. So I hate I I hate to cut chat to cut the live chat short. However, we have been going for an hour and a half. I have reached the end of things, and Twitch is apparently having seizures over trying to keep things smooth and interesting. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, at least it's living up to its name, right, guys? It's Twitch, all right. I was here. I am satisfied. I've heard that so often in my life, but I'm normally the one saying it. Anyway, thank you all for coming. The next live chat will be after DragonCon. If you do make it to DragonCon, I do hope you have signed up for the Medieval Times event. I will have things to give away for those people who come up to me during the half an hour before the dinner and show. So please, um, I look forward to seeing you at that. If you do not make it to that, but you are at DragonCon, I should probably still have some items that can be handed out for those people who find me, and it should be easy enough to do so. Until September live chat, stay safe. The world's stupid and crazy, and I will continue to try to give you good words to read after my editor has made them legible. Talk to you guys later. Bye.